Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are following us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Give us a 5-star rating. It massively helps us out. Enjoy.
Well, speaking of another team that's set unrealistic standards, Liverpool.
My heart bleeds for them.
I just don't. How can you? I get, you've got injuries, you've got players missing. How can you go from Liverpool, who we all know over the last few years, to losing 3-0 to Wolves, or a relegation battle, sitting 10th in the Premier League?
They got battered as well, not even close.
And they didn't even like.
They had a little spell in the second half, but yeah, embarrassing.
They're 11 points off Newcastle in fourth.
Yeah.
And they're 11 points off relegation.
I think it's to do with Klopp's system and the way he, like, if you have 2 or 3 players drop off, like, players are at such, like, they're at their absolute capacity every game. Those players haven't got more room to cover players when they drop off. Liverpool have just got too many players that have...
Do you think they've got in their own heads a little bit as well? They're like, when you get, like, you start to do badly and you think, I must do better, and then you just do worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Partially. I also think, like, losing players like Mane, they're the sort of players that can drag you out of that.
But it's not like they replaced with Nunes.
Yeah, but that's
Gakpo.
not a replacement.
I know they got Diaz coming back. Jota's coming back.
They're not replacements.
Do you know?
They can do a job and they're good individually, but I don't know. I think they've got... the midfield is by far the weakest problem they've got, though.
They had no Van Dijk against Wolves as well.
Like, Gomez and Matip look so bad. And I think they've both benefited from playing alongside Van Dijk for too long.
I think Matip was the one. Everyone, all these Liverpool fans saying Matip's this, Matip's that. But
it's only because he had Van Dijk holding his hand.
But he scored an own goal. Basically set up the second one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he just have a stinker game? It happens to every player.
Wolves dominated him in midfield. That is where Liverpool are lacking. But like I said on the stream, they've still got the best goalie in the world, 2 of the best fullbacks in the world that they all bang on about. They was all telling us how good Matip is. They've still got Thiago. You've still got Salah, who last year you were saying Ballon d'Or. You spent 80 million on Nunes, 50 million on Gakpo. Like, you have to question Klopp now, surely. Coach the team, change something.
It does seem like there's something off with Klopp.
Same happened at Dortmund, and
but I don't think you could. I think you see where they finish at the end of the year. And look, in the summer, it'll be the big summer for Liverpool.
14th, then what?
Well, it's a big summer for Liverpool.
Who's going to sign for them?
Oh, mate, they're Liverpool. I think
no Europe.
No, but like
no Europe, and it's not like they splash cash.
They just need I don't know. If they start shit next season, then I think you question Klopp.
Yeah, but that's too late then, because then you're into another season
without Europe again.
Yeah. And you can't guarantee they're going to get Europe again with, like, Chelsea splashing.
Exactly.
Like,
the issue they've got is that the current owners can't afford to keep up with City, Newcastle, Chelsea in terms of spending. But you say that, but they asked 80 million here, 50 million there. Yeah, but
there.
those players that they were bringing in those players by offering basically the same amount of money. And the thing that hooked those players was that it was Liverpool. If you finish 10th in the league this season, you lose that. And if you're just going toe-to-toe with people that are offering the same amount, say Arsenal, even United, if they're back in the top 4, all of a sudden you're not the same.
Yeah.
You don't have that pull anymore. Like Darwin, I think they bid the same as United, but they were... you would thought you'd be guaranteed top 2 Premier League.
Well, they've lost 3 out of the last 4, and one of them was a draw.
So they've 1 point.
How do they turn it around?
I honestly can't see it happening.
I don't have the answers.
They
need Salah. They need Nunes. They need Gakpo to step up, be a leader, and start winning games for them. They need, when you're in the shit, you need individuals to rely on.
Yeah, and in fairness to Salah, he has been that guy who usually gets them out of the shit.
He needs some help.
And they had a similar season during COVID, didn't they, when they lost like 7 at home or something to SAF, but then they scraped getting into 4th. They did manage to kind of turn that round, and they've got the players to do it.
No, they do, yeah.
But I think at the minute, I don't know. I know no Liverpool fan would want him gone, and I'm not calling for him to go, but he's got to be questioned. You can't just keep saying it's because we haven't got a midfielder, it's FSG's fault. Fucking manage and coach the team, change something, do something. Like, I don't get how he's so immune from criticism.
Well, Klopp said, I got asked if it's because of last season, 63 games. It is clear that has influenced the start of the season, but how long can we suffer that?
I mean, what even is that?
He's basically
is he saying they're tired, and is he hinting lack of depth?
He does go on to say that shouldn't last this long, but even trying to bring that into conversation,
I think he does that a lot, though. Klopp does do that a lot. He likes to bring excuses into things rather than figuring solutions out. I don't really know.
Mate, this is why I hate Klopp, right? Because he got his sub rule changed, right? So like he can bring on 5 world-class players whilst we're bringing on Jacob Murphy or whatever. and now all of a sudden it's like he wants to do the treble and all this shit. So now he's like, oh, we shouldn't play this many games. No, that's why it's hard to do the treble and the quad, because you have to manage your squad and rotate.
Yep,
we're not making it easy mode for you just so you can do it.
Yeah,
that's my whole point about the sub rule. It's the whole point is it is hard to only have 3 subs and make the right subs. That's why managers get paid the big bucks, to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
Let's just give them 1 million subs, and then they can never get, the big teams will never get it wrong, will they? Because they can bring on whoever they want. But so this is what I'm saying. He needs to look at himself instead of, okay, they played 63 games. So fucking what? The Wolves played that many about 2 seasons ago, then finished 7th. Like, I don't know. He's just
the bad thing is, I reckon
whinger.
you look at a lot of the top managers that have come into clubs that aren't getting results. The first thing they do is look at the defence and just shore it up. Just stop conceding goals, and then we'll figure it out from there. He's not doing that at all. And it's like, I feel like
they go behind every game.
Exactly. It's like you've got the defence and keeper that you should, and midfield really, that can play in a way that they will not concede a lot of goals. But it's like a refusal to change from his system, but that system's not working with the players that he's playing at.
And I do rate Klopp. I think he's an unbelievable manager, and I do like him, even though he does whinge a lot. I do actually like him, but I don't know, man. He needs.
I feel like there's no I feel like Liverpool have no identity at the moment.
It's kind of like,
it's like you don't know how how Arsenal have a style. So you have a style. Even Spurs. It's not good,
robust.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like Liverpool. It's just a bit discombobulated.
Oh,
nice word. Come on.
Spell it. There used to be how Arsenal start games, like in your face, fast, intense. Now it's just
meh.
They're in a rut, a bad rut.
I think that's what I think it is, just a rut.
I think teams will approach them differently now, though. Like where they would have got a lot of respect in like past seasons. Now when someone's beatable, like all of a sudden it's not so pleasant.
Like, we're looking at Everton, Liverpool next week. Everton will be looking at that going fancy.
If Everton play like they did against Arsenal with that high press, with the running, with Onana.
Where's it at?
No, it's at Anfield. Sorry, I was looking at Leeds game.
Come on, boys.
It is at Anfield.
I know.
That might just about tip it in their favour.
I could see Everton. I really
at least the point I can. But if it had been at Goodison, I'd have Everton as heavy favourites. But I think that the thing with this Liverpool team is I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing in their performances or players that they've got to come back from injury or anything where you're like, once they've got them back and it'll click. There's nothing like that at the moment.
It will be interesting when they do have like Jota, Diaz, Van Dijk.
Yeah, but they've got a solid front 3 supposedly in Darwin, Gakpo, and Salah that played at yesterday.
They're just
007 on the wing.
Yeah, they're just not clicking. There's something going on at Liverpool that ain't right.
Who replaces Klopp then? If you get
no, you can't.
No, but who would right now?
No, it's not even a question.
Tuchel, yeah.
Zidane.
Do you reckon Zidane takes?
I think he's waiting for
I don't think Zidane. I don't think he wants to live on those.
No, he wouldn't. He's not managing France. He said that, isn't it? Zidane would never manage France.
Why?
There's a reason. I'm pretty sure.
Algerian.
I don't know. There's some reason he would never. I'm pretty sure he would never manage France. or it's a different club. I don't know. There's something. Yeah, I think he would never manage France.
I think Klopp could walk that. I think Klopp could walk at the end of the season. It wouldn't surprise me.
Nah, it is his
it's his baby.
It's 7 years. Same as Dortmund when he fucked it up at the end. He took him down.
If he doesn't think he's going to get the backing to turn it around, I think he'll walk because he's got to try and save his legacy.
Maybe that's he hasn't, like you say, they've got no identity anymore. They haven't evolved, have they? They haven't changed the way. Like, look at City. Okay, they're not as good this season, but they're transitioning from like heavily wing backs getting deep to the byline cutting. Now it's more
direct.
Yeah, they're a bit more direct now. They're not as intricate. But you have to. You can't just constantly play the same way because teams will figure you out.
Do you think that Liverpool could easily be left behind some of the likes of Newcastle,
100%.
Chelsea,
Big time.
especially
if they would have finished top 4, I would have put everything on Bellingham going to Liverpool. But now
There's no way if Liverpool
I just can't see him doing that.
Why would he's got the world at his feet? Why would he not play Champions League football?
Yeah, I completely agree.
I think Liverpool could end up going into like the cycle that clubs go through where they have a few years out of Europe,
Like United,
Champions League,
like Arsenal have done recently.
They're exactly the same right now. It's like, Arsenal got into that thing where it was Arsenal are a big club, but you can go and get points off them.
Yeah.
So it's like you target them as a big team that you're going to get a big result against. Liverpool are like that right now.
Yeah, Anfield is not the scary fortress it was 2 years ago.